Hear the stories of men and women switching hustles and escaping the odds through entrepreneurship after prison. Not only will these stories inspire you, but also unlock business tips for financial freedom. Thank y'all for tuning in to another dope episode of Escaping the Odds podcast. I am your host, Aaron Smith, where we interview the formerly incarcerated who are now successful entrepreneurs. On today's episode, we got my main man, Jemaine, MAINE, Branner. And this brother is doing amazing things down in Pontiac, Michigan, within the community, but also with a fitness center. MAINE, what's going on?
What's going on, bro? Hey, again, thanks for having me. I'm feeling good. I'm doing my best.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So yeah, let's kind of go back into your backstory, man. You got a successful brand, the MAINE, the fitness center, Anytime Fitness, and a whole lot of other stuff that we're going to get into, right? A lot of big announcements we want to kind of break to the audience today as well. But let's kind of go back, a few years to kind of get into your backstory, man. So you spent a little bit of time incarcerated. So can you kind of go back into your life growing up in Pontiac, Michigan, and what kind of led you into the criminal justice system?
Yeah, so again, I grew up in Pontiac, Michigan, Section 8 housing. I would say 100% of all my friends grew up in a single parent household, meaning that even if they did get to see their dad did not live in a house with them. I think about 100% of my friends so we, again, really no male guidance, growing up, the way that we, learned how to be a man was we was going to either be good with our hands, we was going to be good basketball players, good football players, we was going to have all the women, or we was going to have a bag, we was going to sell drugs. That was like the only way of you being able to show that you was a man growing up in a city like Pontiac. And I think that guys such as myself, we tried to be good at all of it. Got in trouble, I started off young, pretty much getting in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Again, got in trouble for the stealing, the fighting, what I'm saying, messing with the girls, the selling the dope, but yeah, through all those things, it was pretty much, like a slap on the hand. Don't do it no more. We'll put you on probation for 30 days, stuff like that. However, I dove real deep into the dope game, had family members that was, deep into the game, had friends that was deep into the game. So after I graduated from high school, even though I sold a little weed, after high school, it was like, all right, this is the life. I'm all in.
Big leagues.
The big leagues. So I jumped straight into cocaine, the cocaine game.
Yeah.
And I was one of the guys who they came to buy hard, buy the crack. I bought it soft. I cooked it up. Right. And I sold a lot of crack in my neighborhood. So during that time, I was living in life. I was young. I was 18, 19, 20, 21. I was rapping back then. I had the nice cars. We was pulling up in the limousines. But even back then, I was the guy that I made sure I passed out the food. When ice cream trucks came through the neighborhood, none of the kids had to pay for ice cream. Even though I was doing my dirt, I was always giving back then,
Now, let me ask you this, right, as it relates to that. Do you think like you were trying to compensate like subconsciously for the negativity that you were doing in the neighborhood? Or you were just kind of just doing it out the kindness of your heart? Did you think about that?
Yeah, I did. Even back then, I wasn't one of the guys that wanted to hurt people, so I never had a reputation for hurting people or strong arm robbing guys. I just wanted to make money.
Exactly.
And, I'm a Leo. So even since a little kid, I wanted to entertain people and I wanted to make people around me happy.
Right.
And selling dope was like the fastest, easiest means for me to, be the entertainer, be the businessman, and be the person I feel like I was born to be. Gotcha. It's just like, again, I feel like if I would have grew up in Idaho, I would have been the best potato producer. I would have sold a lot of potatoes,
Right,
yeah. Like Pontiac, living in Section 8 housing, it was cocaine and weed. That's, so yeah. I picked that up, sold dope. And then, as the story goes, I ended up getting caught. and ended up spending 7 years in prison.
Okay, so now during your incarceration, because for me, like I changed my mindset like once I got indicted, right? A little bit after that, right? I kind of like was like, okay, cool. This ain't the route for me, right? I knew I was going to prison for a long time. I just didn't know for how long. So with you, did you change your mindset into being the man that you are now, at least working towards the man that you are now, like immediately once you got into prison, or was it like a transition to maybe 4 or 5 years later? You like, man, something may have happened. You like, you know what, I got to change the way that I'm living. Because one thing I realized is like what a person is doing inside of prison is going to be reflective of what they do when they get out. So what was your what was some of the things that you were doing while you were incarcerated to kind of help you change your mindset?
As I
Or was it
reflect,
or wasn't doing?
yeah. So I mean, as I can reflect, to answer your question in short, when I first got sentenced, I wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna get back to the community, start my own business. I was still stuck in the streets.
Right.
So it didn't happen. It took a couple of years for me to get some more lumps or potential lumps for me to say, you
Okay.
know what, I'm done. I'm giving back. I'm all the way done. So I still have my foot in the door. For instance, when I first got locked up, me and my wife was together, and at the time at that time, I knew I had at least one son,
Okay.
but as a couple of years later, I found out that I had another son. But so in my mindset, I took care of so many people. I was like, I'm not about to allow prison to stop me from taking care of my peoples and myself.
Right.
I don't want to
Okay.
depend on nobody.
Right.
So I got my first year, I got off into the drug game, even in prison.
Okay.
So it was like, the weed come in, you take a little weed and, you sell it amongst the inmates. But what happened is I was about to make a transaction, and then one of the guards came to me, or the deputy warden was like, look, we listening to your phone calls, this and that and that. You go mess around and you go get somebody you love in trouble by,
Right.
involving them. And when he said that, only thing that I can think of is, wow, I put myself in prison for 7 years. And now you about to have somebody that you love thinking that you taking care of them. Because
Yeah.
even when I was in prison, I never needed money. I was always the guy sending money home for prison. And that
Okay.
made me feel good as a man. But
Exactly. Yeah.
however, I have to think about the flip side, like, oh my God.
Yeah. The
So
consequence behind it.
I ended up moving out of one cell to the other. And the cell that they put me in, it was two guys. One guy was an investor, and the other guy was more of a spiritual person. He was in the Nation of Islam. So I had one
Okay.
guy that was a real good money guy, and I had one guy that was in the Nation of Islam, and they both took a liking to me. Now
Okay.
I never joined no religious group, but he taught me the power of self. He taught me how to look back and where I came from, and taught me about a lot of the teachings that shaped my mentality. Then I had another guy. He was in the stock market. He was in prison for like white collar crimes and stuff like stocks. He's actually a white guy,
Right.
and he was like, Max, man, I see that you a great hustler, but you need to be more innovative. You need to really learn how to scale your business. And he taught me more about the business
Yeah.
sense.
About
So
switching
him
hustles.
moving from one sale to another one changed my life completely. And it
Wow.
kind of brought out the person that was always inside of me.
And that's crazy. You said that. You changed your environment within that small society of an environment. It's crazy how that can happen, man. It's like um, some people may think that all of prison is bad, right? I mean, no, it's no
Uh,
fun place to be at, right? But there are certain groups or certain places. Like when I was in federal prison, right? And so the law library is what kind of a lot of the guys, the white collar guys, kind of hung out, or people that was really trying to change their mindset. And so you can go in that environment, and it was times where I literally felt like I wasn't even incarcerated. You know what I mean? Just because of the energy that was down there, right? You're talking about socks, you're talking about business, you're talking about religion or whatever, right? So I totally identify with you on that, So you change your environment in that. So that's what really helped change your mindset.
Absolutely. When I first got locked up, they put me in a cell with people who knew me, people who knew how I got down. So as soon as I rolled in, it was like, oh man, we already know we can put you here. I know how you move. I trust you. I know your street credibility here. So it was
Yeah.
easy for me to get back in the game. But when they moved me to some positive men that taught me some stuff that I didn't know, it was easy for me to be influenced because it was like, I ain't even know guys like y'all existed. I ain't, it blew my mind on the type of knowledge that they presented. And once I learned how to do better, instead of just wanting to do better, that's when my life changed.
Okay. All right. So now, what was that? Maybe 4 or 5 years in, or how
No,
soon were you?
that was under 2. That was like a year and a half.
Oh, okay. Okay. And so from then, how did your behavior change? Like, what were some of the other things you were doing? Like certain books you was reading. Did you already have in mind? Because I know in prison we worked out, right? Like that's like eat, sleep, work out. You know what I mean? And so, did you already have in mind that you wanted to open up a fitness center?
No, You know what? I had so many ideas before I decided I was gonna open a fitness center. Again, I'm an entrepreneur at heart, so I was searching for stuff that I heard other guys making. Real estate is the first one. It was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm getting into real estate.
Or
Oh,
trucking?
I'm gonna open this up. Stuff that was already popping. I
Exactly.
didn't
Yeah.
find out. I wasn't even working out my first year. I didn't start working out until I had a real banging migraine one day. I had the worst headache in the world. I felt like I was gonna die.
Yeah.
And I went to the doctor and they was like, man, your high blood pressure, have you ever been on medication? Like your stuff is this the highest we ever seen. Da, da, da. And basically, the doctor was like, man, you need to drink water, you need to eat like this, you need to work out. So I was, I'm like, I'll do anything to get rid of this headache. Work out,
Yeah.
whatever you tell me to do.
Right.
So that's when one of my bunkies, the guy that I said was in the nation, I was like, man, I need to work out with you. So when we went to work out, man, of course, he broke me down. I threw up,
Yeah.
almost fainted, farted, did everything. But
Right.
I'm a competitive person in nature. So it was like, all right, I'll be back. One day I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get down. So I kept
Yeah.
coming. I started to enjoy the pain, and I realized how it helped with my depression, how it helped with my physical physique, how I was getting the compliments, which also built up my, I was getting the compliments, and it built my confidence.
Right.
And then it was other people from Pontiac coming like, can you help me work out? So
Okay.
as I was learning, I was helping my other homeboys get stronger. And then, they was coming, I was seeing the impact it had on their lives. Like, man,
Right.
oh man, I'm saying my girl said this. So, my high blood pressure disappeared too and da-da-da. And
Yeah.
I was liking what it was doing for me and other people. And that's when I was like, man, I'm pretty good at this. I wonder if I can make some money off of this when I get home.
Right. Now you mentioned the impact that you had on other people's lives, right? There's one particular life that you really had a lot of impact on. That's with your wife, right? Can you kind of talk about that? Because I know she was instrumental in like your support system while you were incarcerated, and even once you got out.
Man, absolutely, man. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned it because if I would have left that, without being mentioned, man, I probably would have got socked, kicked, punched. But anyways,
Right.
man, my wife, man, she did the whole 7 years with me,
Okay.
and you know, a lot of people, we got married in prison. So
Wow.
when I first met my wife, we was just friends. I was living the street life. My wife always been a so-called square. She ain't never really dated no doughboys. She
Yeah.
was the basketball player, the honor roll, that type of girl. She was a good girl.
Yeah.
So that's what really made, that's what attracted, me to her and vice versa. I guess she wanted the flash she got. But anyways, we were just friends. So when I got incarcerated, before I got incarcerated, she actually kind of like dumped me.
Okay.
So she was like, man, you know what? You live in this life. I know there's other women, this and this and this. That ain't for me. And she dumped me before I went to prison, like 3 months. She didn't even know I was going that long. I
Yeah.
was just kind of keeping it to myself. So once I got incarcerated, after like 3 months of my 7 month bid, she bumped into my brother and she found out that I was in prison. So she reached back out, through letter. It was like,
Yeah.
I didn't know you was going to prison. How you doing? This and that and that. And then we just started back corresponding, and she started visiting me, and that's when she was like, I love you, we love each other. Let's just get married. A lot of people watching probably like, oh
Right.
man, he was in prison, so he wanted to
Right.
hurry up and lock her down. And
Yeah.
I was against it, in the beginning. I was like, look, I can't take care of you. I'm not the type of guy. I can't leech on no woman. I feel bad.
Yeah.
She like, listen, I would feel a lot better waiting on my husband than I will a boyfriend. So I'm
Wow.
gonna give you a choice. And I usually got some good comebacks for anything. I
Right.
didn't before that. And I knew that, I knew that this was the type of woman, this was a woman that I needed and wanted, especially upon my release. So if that answers your question, that's how, and we kind of made it work, man. I was her piece, she was my piece, and she
Right.
made my time go past a lot better, especially with that love. And what a lot of people need to realize, especially if they're going through anything like this, if they wondering, when it come to men in prison, I done seen some of the most hardened criminals change their life just off of love alone.
Yeah.
Because they feel like man, I'm responsible for something, and it's people who love me that I really care about. So I done seen, I'm talking about hardcore killers. Once a woman genuinely come in their life and say, I love you, and check them a little bit like how Black women do, and we need it, and
Yeah.
say, look, I'm building something for us. That alone, that I was like, you know what, I'm done. I ain't never going back to the bag.
Right.
I'm straight.
Okay.
So
So definitely she was instrumental in that. And even also like with the business moves that you all are continuing to make to this day, right? So now you got out, right? And so what were some of the first steps that you took in order like to bring this dream into fruition?
yeah. So, before I got incarcerated, I had it in my mind. I said, you know what? I'm gonna open up a gym, and it sounded intimidating to most people. Like, how the hell you gonna open up a gym? I had a 450 credit score. I had no money in the bank from when I was doing my thing, so I came home with zero.
Right.
But I created a plan in the system when I was in the system. So my plan, because I didn't have no family members with no money, I knew my wife, she wasn't rich, she didn't have any money. I said, you know what? I'm gonna go back to school for nutrition, and I'm gonna take all the money that I can get from school, and then I'm gonna apply it, towards opening up a business. So before I even got the funding or the loan, financial aid, I started training people with just a $5 yoga mat outside, right? So I had people coming outside to our outdoor track to come to train with me. I started with one lady, two ladies, and I trained them. One lost 30 pounds, the other one lost 20 pounds in 1 month. I got lucky because they had a Facebook follow. So they was able to promote and show their before and after picture of what I was able to do in 30 days with my fitness and my nutrition advice. I say
Okay.
30 days later, after I came home, about 30, 40 days later, it's me and it's 30 other people all giving me $5, $10.
Okay.
So it was like, and then I think 2 months later, with my financial loan check that I got from college, I was able to take that money and open up a gym within 6 months of me being incarcerated. I was still on parole when I opened up my gym.
Oh wow, man, that's quick, man. Like you hit the ground running, man. So you had a unique situation with another competitor of yours, right? And right now
Yeah,
you co-owner of Anytime Fitness, man. And I wanna talk about that because I think that it can kind of talk about how oftentimes when you're a part of a community or when you have a brand, your brand may stick out. You know what I mean? And you can have like ill equipment. You know what I mean? Not the best things as far as like the money, the capital, and stuff like that. But you're part of a community. You got this brand, and
yeah.
so let's talk about that. Like how that happened with Anytime Fitness.
Okay, so yeah. Again, when I started Max Out Fitness, even though it was a gym that the initial equipment was all used equipment. I had like the cheap battle ropes, the mats, the
Yeah.
dumbbells, all the hand-me-down stuff. But however, it wasn't just a gym. I turned it into a community center. So just to go back when I was incarcerated, my wife, she was working a job. She was a senior, and she had, she was a career woman. She was like, you know what, I want to start a mentoring program.
Okay.
So, because I wanted to be the man that helped bring her dreams into fruition like she did mine, I opened up my gym and I helped her start a mentoring program. So the community really got involved and really supported the business, because not only was we helping people as far as health, we opened up our doors so that the youth can, especially young men, can learn not to make the same mistakes that I made. And
Yeah.
she also used her experience on how she became successful when she helped some of the women. And we brought different people, bankers, basketball players, all successful people came to Max Out Fitness to share to the youth and to motivate the youth.
Gotcha.
So I was getting a lot of traffic in my gym, and I was actually outgrowing my space. The franchise gym across the street, had all the pretty bells and whistles, everything brand new. And that was kind of like my dream. Like, I wish I had my vision board while I was in prison, because it's almost scary.
Yeah.
But my dream was to open up a nice Lifetime Fitness type of gym one day,
Yeah.
So it just so happened that the gym was actually pretty slow. The great individuals that owned the facility, but they wasn't from Pontiac,
Okay.
and they wasn't really into the community, so it was moving kind of slow, while my small gym was moving fast.
Exactly.
So one day I just reached out, man, because I saw the gym and something just said, that's your gym, man. That's your gym. It's your city. I'm hyping myself up.
Right.
It's
Right.
So I ended up, sending them an email like, hey, look, man, I know they've been watching. I said, look, I want to have a sit down. Let's see how we can work together, somehow with the gym. So after a few negotiations that I'm not going to get too deep into, it all worked out,
Yeah.
But my only thing that I had to bring with me was my name. Most franchise gyms, you can't really bring your business or your name inside of the franchise, because
Right.
they're totally against it.
All
So
branding.
yeah, so at first it was like, okay, yeah, we can make it happen, but you only can use this brand. But I couldn't do it. So it
Yeah.
was like, no, I'm good. I walk away. I'm straight. But then after we all made sense, because the community know my name. And the
Right.
only way that I can guarantee that this place be successful is like the Batman sign. I got to
Right.
be
Yeah.
able to show them that
Yeah.
I'm here. So we
Exactly.
shipped on it, and it all worked out. So I became the co-owner of the Anytime Fitness Gym, and I'm still the sole owner of the Max Out Fitness Max Effect brand.
Oh, so basically, it's two different locations or one?
No, it's one. It's one
Okay.
location. So I
Okay.
brought my system, my service, and my brand up
Okay.
under the Anytime Fitness and Pontiac
Man.
roof, and it worked out, nice. I wouldn't take nothing back.
No, absolutely, man. You know what that reminds me of? You know how back in the day when a lot of us were getting into the record industry, right? Like the Masterpiece, and like they would get these distribution deals with the big names, right? The ones that's kind of like basically like the Anytime Fitness, right? Um,
Yeah,
and they would come to us because of course, we had community. You know what I mean? People
yep,
listen to our music or whatever, and so we was able to leverage our brand and our community. And what Master P did was, he created a situation, a deal where he was the mainly he got a lot of benefit out of it.
yes, sir.
Opposed to being a worker for them. And that's what that sounds like with you. Like you were still able to hold on to your brand, to your name, and I just want the audience to know like how important the brand is. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Like you don't
Yeah,
even have
keep
to
going.
be, yeah,
I'm plugging in my. I hear you. I'm plugging in.
okay.
Keep going.
And so pretty much it's letting the audience know like how important the brand is. Like you don't even have to be making a lot of money, but your brand can have that value. You know what I'm saying? And so that's one thing that I've been talking about recently. Like even with my own brand, just coming out the gate, just doing different things. Like after a while, people just kind of looking forward to your brand and kind of attach it to basically your reputation. And so it sounds like that's what Max Out Fitness did. And he's showing his location, man. It's like remarkable story with everything he has going on. Supplements, Hey, talk about the tummy torch thing that you got going on, man. Because I know you got product and everything, man. That's dope, you know. Because a lot of times, man, people that may open up a fitness center, like I'm talking mom and pop kind of
Yeah,
things, right? They may only just do the fitness part. But what I like about what you're doing is like it's a holistic approach. You got nutrition plans you can download from maxeffectshealth.com.
yeah,
You got um, all kind of stuff, right? And so doing things within the community, like even outside of the health industry, but yet and still, it's all a part of your brand. So was this something that you kind of had in mind initially, or just kind of like evolved after listening to your clients and you realize
yeah.
like this is something you want to offer?
It evolved, man. I really my intentions was to come out here and do workouts,
Right.
exercise the fitness part. But what I discovered was that I can have my clients do all the working out in the world, but if they don't take care of their health and their nutrition, it's going to slow their results down, which is going to make me look bad as a fitness trainer because they're
Yeah.
coming in 90% is they want to lose weight.
Right.
So for me to be successful, I have to do everything that I can to make sure that you lose weight or get the results that you want. So as I was conducting consultations, I had come to the conclusion that a lot of people in our neighborhood didn't understand what their doctor was trying to say, right? And they
Okay.
had, when it comes to the health literacy, it was low. They didn't understand the medication that they was getting from the doctors. They
Okay.
didn't understand the importance of eating a certain way. So I actually went back to college while I'm doing this and
Yeah.
just started studying nutrition in school, out of school, and just
Yeah.
and I had a few guys that was doctors, and I pay them on the side. Like, look, man, I need to learn everything I need to know.
Yeah.
So the usual, man. I discovered people was dealing with inflammation, diabetes, high blood pressure, so on and so on.
Right.
And I discovered some natural things they can do to help with their condition. So what I put together was some juices. One of them is called the tummy torch, which
Okay.
is like a natural probiotic drink. A lot of people deal with gut issues, with bad gut health. So the
Yeah.
natural probiotics help add those healthy bacteria to the gut, so
Okay.
so it can aid in digestion. And then I got like the cayenne pepper, which can actually suppress your appetite because
Right.
what we like to snack.
Yeah.
Most people, we gain weight, we snack a lot, and
Yep.
then we have these hormonal issues like insulin spikes all day, and
Yeah.
we can never get a chance to burn fat. So
Yeah.
as I started learning, I started, putting juices and stuff together to help with the condition that my people in my community needed. That's
Yeah.
the energy drink. So, beet juice is great for energy, with the iron and,
Yeah.
stuff like
I
that.
definitely I'm gonna have to order some of the joints, man.
You
I've been
should. We
working
got
out since
powder
I.
too. So
You say what
I
now?
got I said
Okay.
we have it in powder form now too. So people
Okay.
such as
Cool.
yourself that's in
Yeah.
Chicago or other states that want to order, they can order and take a scoop and add it to your water. This is actually one of the first juice bars in Pontiac in
Okay.
my area. So we used to
Wow.
go out the city to go buy a smoothie from like Tropical Smoothie and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Again, the entrepreneur in me, like, man, no, y'all don't have to leave Pontiac no more. Come on
Yeah.
down here, get it from the black owned business,
No.
So
Hey, man. Absolutely, man. I salute you on that. What's mainly your business model? Like, what's the money maker for you? Is the fitness center pretty much used as what they call a loss leader, where you're not really focused on making the money there, but it's more so like the ancillary products and service that you offer, like the juice bar. You know what I'm saying? The not the supplements, but like the products and services and stuff like that, or like maybe even a system that you created, as far as like the downloading the meal plans and stuff like that. Is that where the money making is at?
yeah, well, I think the business model would change a little bit due to the pandemic.
Okay.
So, I couldn't panic. I just had to create according to what was going on. But because our gym actually just opened up like 2 weeks ago. So for like
Oh
six
wow.
months, we was closed down with no fitness, no
Yeah.
working out, nothing. So I had to get creative. So what I did was I opened up since they said our gym was closed, I said, well, we gonna be on top of the roof.
Okay.
We gonna work out outside on top of the roof.
Okay.
We gonna do
I
it
like
then.
that.
So
Yeah.
I have to be real creative, man. But so when a person come in for training or membership, once the consultation is very important, because if they say I'm here to lose weight, then once I write down and discover that they're not eating right or whatever, then I can direct them to the cafe and say, hey, you need the help, you need this type of help. So
Yeah.
they pay one price for a membership and then lead them to something else like a product or a supplement that can help them with the results. Then the gym can actually make more money as a one-stop shop. A lot of gyms you go to, they may only sell like protein shakes. But if you have a gym, why not have the supplements? Why not have the weight vests? Why not have everything that your client needs so they won't have to go outside your fitness center or products? And that's what we're working on now. We have the juices, we got the protein shakes. But
Yeah.
I'll say in the next year, especially if we don't get nothing crazy with the election or with the weather or the virus, I think we'll be a complete one-stop shop. And
Yeah.
also
No.
the food truck, yeah. So that was another thing. I was like, I told myself, I said, what can I do if they decide to close my gym down? How can I continue my services? I don't believe in just rolling over and waiting for somebody to tell me what to do. So what I did was I started buying food trailers. Actually, we have a total of 5 of them. That's the one that's finished. And I said, you
Wow.
know what? If anything happened, I'm gonna create a trailer so that people in the community can come and get smoothies. They can come and get vitamins. They can come and get juices. And not only will I have one in Pontiac, I'm gonna have one in at least 4 or 5 other urban or areas that's considered food deserts. Food deserts are cities that don't have like a supermarket nowhere within 5 miles. So we have like a
Right.
Saginaw, we have like a Flint, and those cities are next where I'm going to introduce them to my one of the healthiest food trailer in America, I like to call it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if I can put one in every urban community, then at least they have access to fresh food, fruit, foods, and so on and so on.
Right. No, absolutely, man. And you know what? That's a huge differentiator, like from what you're doing, man. It's like you really like involved with the community. It's more so than just come inside of my gym and work out.
Nah,
You know what I mean? And I think some of the big players, that's what they pretty much offer. You know what I mean? It's not like that. It's not that community feel. You know what I mean? So you're able to be innovative like that, and that's a strong part of your brand, and that's why people rock with you. I can imagine seeing those things like how you say, man, and in pretty much every urban area, city in America, man. Because we need that. We need to be exposed to a healthy way of living outside of just like working out. That's part of it. Like you mentioned earlier, I always say like I've been working out for like 10 years, right? But I would tell people all the time, like, you can work out crazy, but then if you don't eat right, it's worthless, right? It's like why even work out? And that's the part that we're missing though. Like I think it's easier to learn how to work out, right? Learn, the
yeah,
different how to the techniques of bench press or push up and stuff like that. That could be learned, but it takes a little bit longer because we have to pretty much kill a lot of bad habits that we had as far as growing up, eat unhealthy things. You know what I mean? So it's like I always say, like it's probably like 70% your diet and 30% working out. You know what I'm saying? And so, but we get the health and nutrition part down pat. That's where it's at. And so you're offering all that. And so that's really how innovative that I see that you are, that your organization does. Outside of that though, right? There's some things you're doing in the community outside of the health fitness world, right? As far as
yeah.
like bringing, I'm gonna let you make the announcement. So if you can kind of talk about the stuff that you're doing within the community as like bringing a sense of unity within the urban area.
Yeah, so just during this time of the pandemic, I started to notice a lot of things, as far as politically and as far as people in my community that's relying on people or organizations or anything outside themselves. You
Right.
know, We like to, I'm with voting, I'm with marching, but however, I'm with doing for self first, you know. So what I did was, and I believe this is the first time it ever happened in my city. I reached out to some guys that I knew, a total of 13 guys that was already entrepreneurs or they was in politics or looking to get in politics. And in short, I started an investment group. We started meeting at one of my friends' offices, and we started talking. I gave him my ideas, and what was on my heart, and coincidentally, everybody else felt the same. So we started talking about growing our own food, growing our own fruit, growing our own vegetables, um, 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 teaching the young man in the neighborhood about cannabis, how to grow it. Actually, one of my partners had the only license in Michigan to teach about license and have a cultivation class. So we know that a lot of the foreign investors and a lot of the big money guys, we don't have $1 million, $2 million to start a dispensary. So we found the way around that, to educate the city on what's about to happen and to help them so they can get in position to take advantage of this green gold. So we all put our money together, and we ended up buying in the 60 days of planning and agreeing on what was going to take our organization, which we are a nonprofit 501c3. We ended up securing 9 acres of farmland and 2 commercial lots.
Okay.
And it's rare when Black men, especially in the city, can come together and pool their money, because you got a lot of guys who want to be one-man army, solopreneurs. They want all the shine, and the fame to themselves, or they just have trust issues.
Yeah.
Which they rightfully should, depending on how they grew up. But what I did was I took, most of the guys don't know each other to distrust each other too much. So I made sure I handpicked 11 guys that I knew, but that was kind of new to everyone else. And everyone in the group, they at least trusted me because they knew where I came from and they know what I'm doing now. And again, man, it was a beautiful thing, man. Our plan is to own our own. We figured that if we could own our own houses, we can take control of some of our own land in our own neighborhood, we would have more power and more influence to have an influence or control people such as the local sheriffs or police. When they come to the mayor, when they come to people that's making some of the decisions, now they have to come to a group of 13 men that have 13 families that are business owners that got a lot of influence on the city. So we want to make sure that when behind the politic doors, we got somebody that's inside there, inside the political or the financial scene. We want to have a voice and we want to have an influence. And one thing that we discovered is that without some type of accountability or owning our own resources, we can march all day. But because we own our own now, we can display real power.
Okay, perfect, man. So outside of that, right? Like, what's next for Max Out Fitness? Like the health brand. Like, are you? It sounds like you may be on your way to like franchising. Is that something you thought about, man?
You know what? I'm gonna duplicate myself, my work, and my passion as much as I can, because I feel like, at the end of the day, I feel like this is what God wants too. Once you feel like this is what God wants, this is what a higher power wants, it makes you move different. It's more than just about making a dollar or anything like that.
Yeah.
I am going to franchise a lot of what I do or duplicate. I'll say that. I don't know so much about the franchise part, but I will duplicate what I do. I just don't know what angle. It can be a franchise, it can be an affiliate, it can be something. Yeah. But my job is to grow what I do and to branch outside my city and hopefully the world. So I haven't decided yet on how I'm going to do that, but we growing.
No, definitely, man. Hey, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more of the stuff that you're doing, man. inside the community and even spreading outside of Michigan as well. I got you doing it for real. You got a remarkable brand. Where can we find all of your product, man, your services? Like if I want to come up get a nutritional plan, like how do I do that? Do you do like consulting with someone outside of, if they don't live in Pontiac, Michigan, can they kind of hit you up and maybe get some kind of consultation as it relates to health?
Yeah, they can actually go on my website. I think y'all have my old website on there, but my new website is maxeffecthealth.com. And again, that's www.maxeffecthealth.com.
Okay.
If you're a Facebook person, you can put I'm MAINE on Facebook. My business is Reachout. If you're a LinkedIn person, again, my name is Jemaine Branner, but people in my community have been knowing me as MAINE for a few years, but I'm Jemaine Branner on LinkedIn. I'm Mr. Keep Going 2020 on Instagram. For all my Instagram people, follow me on Instagram. Again, Mr. Keep Going 2020. Or you can just simply send me you can email me, jbranner@maxeffecthealth.com. And
Okay.
if you want to work together, if you want to know more about the fitness side, the nutrition side, or the investment group that we just started, if you got some pointers I'm a student, man. I like for people to come in and want to teach me. I'm not, I like to teach people that don't know, but I'm a student. So anybody watching that feel like, they seeing a young, hungry, black male that's trying to do something for the city as far as investment or real estate or health or whatever, reach out to me. I don't know everything. I'm just trying. I'm trying to be the person that I needed when I was young,
No, absolutely, man. I love it, man. Well, thank everybody for tuning in. You can find the podcast. This will re-air. Escapingtheodds.com be found there. The audio podcast can be found on Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Instagram is Escaping the Odds Podcast. Facebook, Escaping the Odds. We pretty much everywhere. LinkedIn, we're all over social media. So got the merchandise coming soon, Escaping the Odds, Switch Hustles, that'll be available for everyone. Scully's, the whole nine. So stay in tune for that. Continue to like, comment, and share. Check out Max Out Fitness. Maybe you can come up with some kind of nutritional plan for you as well. Check out some of that tummy torch. Get the stomach all flat and right. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Let's see that again. Okay, there it goes. Now, do you
Yeah.
sell that as a whole bottle, or can they buy like a smaller version for it?
Now so I do have powder form, but when it comes to the gallons, when it comes to the bottles, we only sell it about a gallon. It'll last, and then you download the meal plan and you will see why. It's something that you don't want to just try. I'm result driven, so I don't really like the 1 day workouts. I don't really like the 1 day drinks. I like for you to, charge me for the result that I'm going to get.
Got you. Got you. Okay, there y'all go, man. We have it right here, man. Thanks for coming on with us, man.
Yeah.
You're doing remarkable things. Yeah, no doubt, bro. Doing great things in the community, man. I like to say health is wealth. Ain't no sense of making all the money you can't enjoy it, right? And so,
that's right.
And that's what we definitely need to be educated on in our community. Continue to tune in, Escaping the Odds podcast, and thank you all for tuning in. Peace.
Peace.